This week we watched The Pleasure of Being Rob, which was created by Andy Spade and directed by one of his puppets. I carefully choose the word puppet because it's something that I'll explain later on in the review. However, the overall baseline of The Pleasure of Being Robbed is about some girl who lives in New York and she's a klepto. That's it. It's 70 minutes of a girl who takes stuff. There's absolutely no character development. There's nothing to like about the character. She's ugly, she's not interesting, and she just takes stuff. And you know what? She takes stuff just for the purpose of taking it. And you know what's the most annoying about that? Is that strictly inconveniences the people she's taking stuff. She's not doing it for herself. She's not doing anything with the money. She's just taking stuff and going through people's things. Who cares? The dialogue in the film isn't interesting. It's just about a girl who walks around the city and is a klepto. She steals a car and drives to Boston. Interesting. Wait, not. That is just a felony. Does she do anything cool when she goes through a purse? No. She just gets arrested at the end of the movie. And you know what? That was the best part of the entire movie, was when she got arrested. As far as everything else, the character sucked, the dialogue sucked, the story sucked. And then, watching the end of the movie, I realized Andy Spade directed it. Or, I mean, he actually did direct it. He was an executive producer in quotes, and someone else directed it, but it was entirely Andy Spade. I think Andy Spade is the most important person to highlight because when you look at the past things and what he's done, he does stuff strictly for himself. Nothing makes sense. It's always too conceptual. And, like, honestly, there's a point where it becomes so conceptual that it's just taken literally. And that's the main problem with this film, especially for me. The only thing I could do is take what happened as it happened because the film was just so conceptual. And the Q&A only backed up this theme. After hearing the director talk, first off, cut your hair. You have two features. Cut your hair. Grow up. You have two features under your belt. Second off, all he kept talking about was Andy like this, Andy like that, and oh, he funded this and to fund that. So essentially, he just made himself look like a pawn in Andy's game. And that's why I focused him as the puppet. Because if you look at Andy's other work, he just does whatever he wants. It doesn't make sense. He just uses people to create his ideas, which was highlighted by the question and answer when someone asked about how working with Mr. Spade. They said that, or the puppet replied, that Andy had this idea that he wanted to make a film about a girl being robbed. It's exactly what it was. The literal translation of a girl being robbed. And with that in mind, I mean, if you understand Andy Spade or you don't understand Andy Spade, you do understand him after watching this movie. And I wouldn't recommend this to anyone. Just don't waste your time.